Hello lovely, welcome to Gist Band TV. Today gist about being Okwara. Oh my people. Brian Okwara's discipline is painted as something almost mythical, the kind that feels born out of a different era entirely. It isn't just about arriving early to set, it's about showing up with intention, readiness, and respect for every single minute involved in production. In a world where many rely heavily on personal assistants, excuses, or simply assume their star power buys them extra time, he defies the norm by proving that true professionalism never goes out of style. His discipline makes everyone around him level up, directors feel more confident, producers relax because they know at least one element of the day is guaranteed, and fellow actors silently take notes. It's the kind of work ethic that sends a message without saying a word. It shows that talent can shine, but discipline sustains the shine. When someone consistently appears early, fully prepared, and mentally present, it elevates not just the project but the entire team spirit. This trait alone creates admiration that sinks deeper than mere compliments. It becomes a quiet legend whispered among those who have worked with him and those who wish they could. Respect is often talked about, but very few embody it down to the smallest details the way Brian does. On set, he doesn't just act, he listens, absorbs, and treats every instruction like treasured guidance rather than criticism. Respecting call times is one thing, but respecting the craft, now that's something that can't be taught. He treats scripts like living organisms, studying their heartbeat, decoding the writer's intentions, and giving life to every line with mindfulness. Directors feel safe directing him because he doesn't bring ego into the room, only focus. He doesn't interrupt, dominate conversations, or demand unnecessary adjustments. Instead, he collaborates, flows, and adapts. Even when a scene becomes stressful or technical delays slow the day down, he never shows irritation. That calm presence makes the entire environment easier. People find themselves wanting to do better simply because his energy silently encourages higher standards. When a person respects every layer of production, lighting, props, costume, camera crew, and even the background actors, they create harmony on set, and harmony is a rare gold in filmmaking. It's the kind of respect that builds lasting relationships and unforgettable memories. Brian's humility is the kind that sneaks up on people and melts resistance instantly, because it feels genuine, unforced, and steady. For someone with such a fast-rising career, growing fanbase, and undeniable screen presence, one might expect even a hint of celebrity pride, but instead, he stays grounded in a way that surprises both fans and colleagues. He doesn't move through sets like someone who believes the world revolves around him. He doesn't speak with the tone of someone who expects special treatment. Instead, he greets people warmly, cracks simple jokes, and acknowledges every face. Crew members often say humility is felt more than it's seen, and in his case, it's a warm energy, the kind that draws people in effortlessly. Fame usually tests character, magnifying the small cracks in a personality, but in his case it seems to magnify the kindness. His humility isn't performative, isn't scripted, and isn't packaged for social media. It's woven into his nature. It's the quiet, disarming type that makes even strangers feel comfortable and valued. When humility meets talent, the result is a star that shines without blinding others. One of the most striking aspects of his personality is the way he interacts with crew members. Many people in the industry admit that crew members are often overlooked or treated like background furniture, but Brian flips that narrative effortlessly. He speaks to them like equals, no hierarchy, no tone of superiority, no hint of distance. Whether it's a sound technician adjusting a mic, a makeup artist rushing to fix a sweat line, or a camera assistant struggling with equipment, he sees them. That alone creates a positive ecosystem around any project he joins. It turns long hours into comfortable hours, stressful days into manageable ones. Crew members become protective of actors who treat them well, and in his case, they naturally want to give him their best. This extends beyond professionalism, it becomes personal respect. When an actor blends seamlessly with both cast and crew, it strengthens the invisible thread that holds productions together. It also earns silent loyalty, the kind that spreads through industry corridors, shaping reputations far beyond what the public sees. In a world where many only shine under the spotlight, he shines even brighter behind the scenes. Brian's way of interacting with children reveals a softness that deepens the admiration around him. Children are sensitive, they sense energy before words, sincerity before gestures, and authenticity before actions. The fact that they respond to him with genuine smiles says more than any adult praise could. He doesn't rush them, talk down to them, or treat them like props on set. He speaks gently, waits patiently, and adjusts himself to their comfort level. That protective instinct he shows, whether guiding them through a scene, ensuring they are not overwhelmed, or simply making them laugh between takes, creates a sense of safety that parents deeply appreciate. It takes emotional maturity to understand the fragile world of a child and navigate it with respect. Many adults forget that children carry the memory of how people made them feel, and his presence seems to leave only warmth. Such behavior shows empathy, awareness, and genuine character, because you can't fake kindness with children, they expose pretenders instantly. In him, they find a reassuring figure, and in return, he earns the admiration of anyone who values gentle-hearted maturity. Brian's ability to treat all women with equal dignity sets him apart in a very noticeable way. In an industry where beauty is sometimes used as currency, where favoritism can slip into interactions, he carries himself with impressive balance. He doesn't flirt recklessly, doesn't cross boundaries, and doesn't behave like someone driven by impulse. Instead, he maintains consistency, showing the same level of respect to every woman, whether she's a star actress, a costume assistant, or someone simply visiting the set. This balance shows a strong internal compass guided by principles rather than emotions. When someone treats beauty as normal rather than something to exploit or manipulate, it reveals a mind that values substance over external appearance. It also signals safety, trustworthiness, and discipline. Women around him feel comfortable, not judged or objectified. His boundaries reflect both self-control and upbringing, and that alone puts him in a different league. Respect, when extended without motive, becomes powerful, and his approach makes women feel visible for who they are, not what they look like. That dignity is rare, and its rarity makes it stand out loudly. There's something magnetic about his on-screen presence, something that doesn't need explanation because viewers simply feel it. The moment his face appears, there's an immediate connection, a sudden pull that makes the viewer lean in. It's not just about looks, it's about energy, depth, and the natural ability to embody characters in a way that feels effortless. Some actors deliver good performances, others deliver experiences. Brian falls into the second category. He doesn't recite lines, he breathes them. His reactions feel real, his emotional transitions feel organic, and his chemistry with co-stars always feels like a natural force rather than staged affection. Directors love actors who don't need excessive coaching to make scenes believable, and audiences love actors who make them forget they are watching a movie. His presence elevates scripts, deepens scenes, and adds flavor to every story he touches. It's that rare gift that can't be faked or trained. You know when someone has it, and he clearly does, making him one of the actors who don't just appear in movies, they define them. One of the most admirable things about him is his quiet generosity. In a social media era where many people announce every act of kindness for likes and validation, he chooses the opposite route, silence. He helps without cameras, supports without publicity, and gives without seeking applause. That kind of kindness carries a different kind of weight because it comes from sincerity rather than performance. People who do good privately are often the ones whose hearts are shaped by compassion rather than recognition. It shows he values humans, not attention. Such quiet goodness travels through word of mouth, not camera lenses, and that makes it even more meaningful. When people help for clout, the impact fades once the post stops trending. But when someone offers genuine support without witness or reward, the memory lasts a lifetime. It shows depth of character, empathy, and a strong internal moral code. In an industry where image often outweighs intention, his approach brings refreshing authenticity. It reminds everyone that positivity doesn't need an audience, sometimes its greatest power is in its silence. Another compelling quality is his seriousness toward relationships. In a world where emotional games have become normalized and casual, connections encouraged, he represents the opposite: commitment, clarity, and depth. He doesn't enter relationships to fill time or satisfy curiosity, he enters to build something meaningful. This makes him the kind of person who values emotional integrity. Women around him feel safe knowing that he isn't the type to play with hearts or create unnecessary confusion. This maturity signals readiness for partnership, responsibility, and long-term vision. It also indicates self-awareness because people who understand their emotional needs avoid unnecessary entanglements. His approach pushes back against the culture of temporary connections, proving that intentional love still exists. People often admire those who are selective not out of arrogance, but out of respect for both themselves and others. His seriousness shows that he values stability, loyalty, and growth in relationships. It suggests that whoever gets his heart won't be guessing his intentions, they'll feel them clearly. His spiritual grounding adds a quiet strength to his personality. In an industry filled with distractions, temptations, and constant pressure to compromise values, holding on to spiritual principles becomes a guiding force. His connection to faith influences not just his actions but his reactions, how he handles success, how he treats people, and how he navigates challenges. A spiritually grounded person moves differently. They are calmer under pressure, more thoughtful in decision-making, and less obsessed with external validation. This grounding becomes an anchor that keeps fame from inflating ego. It also reflects gratitude, humility, and a sense of purpose. People around him notice that he doesn't move through life aimlessly. He carries direction, focus, and a belief system that shapes his behavior. Spirituality can be faked convincingly because it shows up in consistency, patience, and compassion. In his case, it adds depth to his identity, making him more than an actor, but a man guided by something higher than the spotlight. His ambition shines not just in the dreams he speaks about but in the effort he puts into making them real. He doesn't limit himself to local success or short-term achievements. He sees beyond borders, beyond temporary recognition, aiming for global influence. Yet what makes this ambition admirable is the path he chooses: clean effort, discipline, and honest work. He avoids shortcuts, avoids compromising his values, and avoids strategies that may give quick results but damage long-term reputation. People admire dreamers, but they respect dreamers who work. His dream is big, but his work ethic is bigger. When someone is driven by purpose rather than pressure, their journey becomes inspiring to watch. His ambition isn't loud or boastful, it is steady, intentional, and rooted in genuine passion for the craft. He knows where he's going, and everyone who observes him can sense a future much larger than the present. Loyalty is one of his strongest qualities, and it stands out loudly in an era where people often switch sides based on convenience. He remembers those who supported him before fame, treats long-time relationships with care, and honors connections that helped shape his journey. In an industry where alliances can shift quickly and betrayal is almost expected, loyalty becomes a rare jewel. This loyalty is not just about returning favors, it's about integrity. People who stay true, even when offered something shinier, show that their character is built on solid ground. Those around him feel safe investing in him emotionally and professionally because they know he doesn't forget or abandon bonds easily. Loyalty builds tribes, families, and long-lasting partnerships, and he embodies it in a way that deepens trust. When someone is loyal, they attract equally loyal people, creating a support system that grows stronger with time. His loyalty doesn't just make him admirable, it makes him unforgettable. Now that you've journeyed through these deeply layered insights, let's hear from you. Which of these qualities stands out the most to you, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could spark the next big conversation. Let's turn the comment section into a lively roundtable of ideas, thoughts, and interesting takes. Your voice adds flavor to this community, so don't hold back, let's talk.